Hi guys, Ethereal Aquarius here, Ethereal Awakening here. I'm ethereally, I got a reading, I did a reading for myself last night, and this message came through very clearly. Spirit said, I will halt any growth that you will do on your YouTube channel if you do not infuse each one of your readings with the comedic genius that you are. That was a direct threat from Spirit, and I'm taking it very seriously. So, without further ado, Aquarius, your reading will be spiced with my humor that I have acquired over years of fine-tuning and accumulation from various sources to provided here for you and your viewing enjoyment. So, Spirit has me wanting to give you a message, Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, check your North Node. Your heart is the best guide. Something in the message resonates, it's for you. If it doesn't, spit it out, move on, no big deal. So Spirit, what messages do we have for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in the sign of Aquarius. Spirit, what messages do we have for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Aquarius. And thank you so much. All right, that feels good. We'll do a little cut. In current energies, the first two cards, Page of Rods, Six of Rods. Woo! There is a new enterprise that you are feeling very victorious and engaging in and setting out into putting your energetic zest in. I am an Aquarius. It just so happens to be very much like starting a YouTube channel and feeling a success coming from that's beginning. It's initiation. How very synchronistic that Spirit would want this to be kind of resonating for me too. Heart space. Nine of Swords. Nine of Cups. I do love nines in tarot card readings. Nines are God's number. The fact that the 9 exists in the number sequence is that God present in a numeric form. So when you see it doubled, tripled, repeated in a tarot card reading, that's God's energy really trying to focus you in on something. The heart space in this Aquarius reading I'm doing right now is 9 of Swords, 9 of Cups. So there's this thought, you feel thoughts, a thought process, a repeated memory you won't let go of, a simple mindset based off of lies. Regardless of what it is involving, it's based in lies. Because whatever these thoughts are not restricting you. You're restricting you simply by being restricted. When you take whatever it is that's keeping you in the sense of, I can't get myself out of this. I feel stuck and trapped and, in a mental prison. Those same exact thoughts, whatever makes you feel like you're stuck, are the same exact thoughts that with a simple change in perspective become the thoughts that cut those off your wrists and set you free to be a peaceful individual with normal thought processes, being all that you can be. God is with you to help you see something in the repetitive thought processes that you need to use to let yourself go with. There's something there that God's trying to get your attention with. You're losing sleep so that you'll think about it and continue thinking about it until you thought about it so much that you think you're going to go crazy. But then you'll think about it some more, and then you'll be ready to relieve yourself at some point when the thinking about it keeps you so driven crazy that you have no other choice. You will put yourself in what feels like the bottom of the situation, the anxiety, anxious pit of non-sleeping and overthinking. Those are good cycles to get into if you want to really be pulled through something. If you like being in that kind of energy, I hate that stuff. I like to sleep at night comfortably. meditate, feel light as a feather with all my mental faculties. And the Nine of Cups associated in that heart, it's like there's a wish trying to come in for you. And I think it is after you relieve yourself of this mental process. A restriction in your thought flow is keeping the Nine at bay, the Nine of Cups at bay. It's keeping the energy of God's coming in and saying, you've sought the answer to this anxious pit you've been in, and now you get what you want. There will be, I feel like it's like this instant release and giving, a take, a flow, because they're both that energy in the heart space. So it's like as soon as you crack the code, you open the door for this mental flow to not be so restrictive and keeping you in a cycle any longer. You crack the code. Your mental energy becomes freed, and your emotional fulfillment becomes realized as, now you got it. Maybe you'll see yourself as the gift at the end of this anxious pit that you walk through. I've been barking about that in all my readings today. So I started this emotional and spiritual journey, not really even having a clue what I was doing when it began, just knowing that I didn't like what cycles I was in, and I wanted to stop that. But by the end of it, the gift of me I found was so astounding and awe-striking and humbling and incredible that I would do it again. I'm that cool, and everyone else in the world is too. I am not biologic. Hello? That was weird. I'm not biologically built different than any other human being. What one man can do, another one can do. There is simply a dedication and a wanting to be something more than what I was currently feeling. The feelings were not being seen in a self-realized manner. I feel my feelings, I think my thoughts, I use what is provided me through the God-given biological suit, and then I find a deeper connection through it. There are senses that we don't really even fully understand, but the cracking of the code of, number one, the emotional body that we have neglected from a societal buildup of ignoring bad feelings and such. Recognizing that that's you, just wanting you to recognize you. It's always going to be you trying to get your own attention, and then the self-realization of your magnitude in the scope of reality as you know it starts expanding without any assistance from you once that realization hits. Who you are, your seat in the world, your expression of self in the world, soul's purpose being fully manifested because you've done the work and you recognize just how precious that is. It's like, all right, this little chump things that I gotta get to doing here, all very worth it, because magic is real, and the reality we see with our eyeballs is only a small fraction of what reality really is, and how we manipulate it, and how we can be part of it. It is us, and we are it. And the Page of Swords is in your possible outcome, along with the Ten of Cups. So, let's just say, what I said about the heart space. You crack the code of what this mental block is. Spirit's going to step in with the wish granted. Immediately, it's going to be like, because you did it, you get a gift. Then, almost like I was describing, recognizing yourself as this miraculous and truly divine being that you just never knew the true magnitude of. That's a big gift, to see yourself in that light after a life of struggling with even self-esteem. Now all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm a big deal. Like, it's crazy kind of energy. However, your future or possible outcome, Page of Swords, is taking what you've learned at any level, pushing that through to an emotional fulfilled level, because when you have this type of information, you share it with no matter how you can. You're just like, I don't care how this is getting received. My delivery is just out there. This is a Page of Swords kind of delivery. Messy and all over the place. It's all honest, God true stuff, though. I'm not lying about none of it. God don't lie, liars. Besides, I am horrible at lying. Like, I cannot even do it. The honest truth comes out of my mouth despite anything. So, it is a necessary energy that comes from an expression of self just that needs to be made. I'm coming through with truth because my emotional and spiritual fulfillment is all so important for me. And that's a big outcome. After you being a gift and then there's a fulfilling, this is big things popping, Big Daddy. 8 of Cups on underlying energy, along with 6 of Swords and Ace of Rods. That's the motivation you need to be peaceful in your mind. No more of this. So the underlying energy is, God is saying, you got it. There is a recognition that whatever your relief from this mental energy is, you already know. It's just accepting that as the truth. And then you'll get this big rush of, oh my gosh, I'm so cool. Finding of self at end of journey. Reward, wow, I am really cool thing. Like I was describing. And it's the emotional fulfillment, again, that the 10 of Cups brings. But it comes from knowing what your battles are. Emotionally investing in what you think is fair and not fair. Walking away from anything that does not serve you. Negative, low vibrational energy doesn't serve you. Those are only reflections of how people feel internally as an external projection. Negative opinions and lower vibrational activities and attitudes come from external projections of internal, criticisms. It's really just a sad energy to be in, and when you recognize that as all it is, despite any pleading otherwise, that is exactly what a person does when they have that negative projection opinion of the world around them, their situations, what they watch on TV, what they get, when somebody is just constantly complaining about everything. Those are merely external projections about internal true feelings. Flapping gums may say 800 things otherwise, but that is the truth. Their failure to recognize it doesn't make it less true. You have to recognize it, know it for your truth, and run with it and protect yourself from that kind of energy. You know where that gets you. Negative energy keeps you tired and lazy and not wanting to do anything that God wants you to do. Doing those things that are good and wholesome and loving gives you that boost. That here we have Ace of Rods, underlying energy. You'll have all the energy for a new beginning and that God can provide you. Oh, just that toroidal energy that the universe was sprung from. I just started as an orgasm. I love that. And then the mental clarity from realizing that your mental peace is not worth sitting in that energy for any reason. A simple thought can get you out of an anxious pit, just like a thought can put you in. These are all thoughts, very powerful in nature, so keeping them simple, living in the moment, not sitting in past cycles, and only taking what is necessary for you to emotionally feel balanced, mentally feel crisp and clear and in peace, and recognizing that the rest is going to drive you into places God wants you to go because you got big things popping, Aquarius. I hope this has helped. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time, Aqua. Bye.